You just tuned it in.
Global and worldwide.
Hitting you on the one with no delay. Because it's the fighter's voice.
The Fighter's Voice.
With your fighting host, Richard Ortiz.
And the formidable co-host,
Mr. Cole Escobedo. Remember, every fighter has a voice.
Fresno, California, we're live. The Fighter's Voice Knockout Radio Show. We're simply knocking out the competition. We got a great show for you today, in store for you today. We're going to hear from the one, the only, the young, the brash, the ready to put that gold medal around his neck, and that's Richard Torres Jr., Tulare, California. He's going to tell us all about Sofia. Where were you at?
Bulgaria.
Berlin, Bulgaria?
Bulgaria, yeah.
Tulare, what are we doing here?
Yeah, Sofia, Bulgaria.
Guadalajara, what are we talking about here? Sophia, because I heard the word Sophia and I thought we were talking about a female.
No.
Because it's always good when you win in a female's life, or else, you know, as your dad will say, it's not the place to be if you lose, right?
Exactly. No, but it was in Sofia, Bulgaria, right around Greece, I think, and it was a really big tournament. I think it was the third or fourth largest tournament in the world, and went out there, had 4 fights, fought Brazil, Georgia, Azerbaijan, and Bulgaria in the finals. It was a really good turnout.
Okay, I got to ask you this, man, before I introduce our co-host with the most, sitting in for the UFC veteran, Cole Escobedo, because he's on assignment. The Fighter's Voice is always working. Trust me, ladies and gentlemen. They're always working, always on the grind. We don't ask for any handouts. We just want the opportunity, and we're smashing, thrashing, and like I said, knocking out the competition. And I hope I get his name right. I haven't got it right all year, and that's Mr. Mike Rutha.
Brother. Rather, you were close to first. The
okay,
second
I didn't
time.
want to say the other one that sounds like the other word, because then that's a whole conversation.
Yeah.
That's for tomorrow's show. And are you still a minor?
Nah, I'm 19.
Oh, you're 19? Okay, I just want to make sure, man. Because Pops is looking at me kind of crazy, like, bro, don't do that. That's my son. That's my trophy. That's my walking trophy case right there. It really is, man. I'll make sure I get it right. That monitor is kind of turned back, though. So we'll fix that right now. I'm kind of guessing right now. So let's talk about that. I mean, because every time we talk about your fights before you take gold, and you've been taking gold over and over again, can I ask you an ugly question?
Go for it.
When's the last time you lost?
Last time I lost in the U.S. has been about 4 to 5 years. Last time internationally has been 2.5 years.
2.5 years. Okay, so you know that part exists, and it does exist in life. It does exist in boxing, but you refused to let that cross your path. I mean, you worked so hard. I mean, from here, your dad was on the phone talking about, okay, when are you going to go back to training camp? When are you going to work out? What's your meal prep like? And most of all, most important, your rest. Talk to us. What's the day like for Richard Torres Jr.? And I know it changes every now and then.
It does change. I mean, over the past couple of days, it's been more of kind of recovering and everything like that. But when I do get into camp and I do get into training mode, I wake up usually around 6 in the morning, go for a 3 to 5 mile run. After that, we'll have an afternoon strength and conditioning session, about an hour and a half, and then after that, it'll be a 2 to 3 hour boxing session. And in between that, it's either sleeping or eating. I mean, there's nothing much to it.
Oh my gosh, that's 24/7 boxing.
Right.
What's your take on that, Mike?
That's how it's supposed to be.
It is supposed to be, man.
There's a reason where he is where he is.
Is it me or is it my mic?
I hear
I don't know.
good.
We coming out pretty clear? Okay, it must be just me or something. Maybe it's the weather.
Could be. Still
Or
cloudy,
maybe
windy.
it's because I'm next to this phenom right here.
Exactly.
I mean, you know what I mean? I can feel that reverence, you know? I know it, but you're set well, you are set to throw that big left hand, huh? Maybe if you switch the other way, I'll feel a little better, you know what I mean? Kind of conventional, I'll kind of roll that a little bit. So, I mean, we all know that big left hand is your bread and butter, man. I mean, are you naturally left-handed?
Yes. Yeah,
Oh,
naturally
from birth, okay.
But I started off as a right-handed when I was real little. I was trying to mimic my dad, and then finally my dad switched me to left-handed.
Smart man. Smart man. So if you didn't throw a punch, Dad, I'm sure you would have threw a baseball, right?
Yeah.
Big guy looking like Tim Tebow over here. A little bit, huh?
Yep.
That physique, a young Tommy Morrison, but with the chin. Right?
Don't gotta shoot down Tommy like
No,
that.
I'm not shooting down Tommy. That's Tommy Gunn. That's Tommy the Duke, Rocky Balboa. Listen, growing up, man, I know you followed. I know you watched the movies like Rocky, like everybody else did, to get inspiration. But what do you watch nowadays, or what do you do nowadays to get inspired?
I mean, what I'll do is I'll watch other guys on Team USA. I'll watch like Keyshawn Davis, Freddie Rojas, some of these really guys that I find like their technique or one punch in particular that I really love when they throw it, and I'll try to mimic that. So like Keyshawn Davis, his calmness is like just bringing generalship, his presence. Duke Reagan's jab, Freddie Rojas is like just movement and length. I mean, just some of the guys on the team is just I really like.
I like that.
Inspire that.
That's wonderful, man. You get a little bit from everybody,
Yep.
and you mix it up. That makes for a dangerous, complete fighter. I like that, man.
You pick things up from other people.
Mike,
and
what do
use
you
it.
pick up from other people? Besides their money and, catch them slipping every now and then.
Nothing, honestly. I just grew up watching and taking, just as he said, taking
Oh,
from
does
what
he?
just taking from what I see and using it. So
Yeah. Hey, someone let me know how the voice is coming out. Maybe it's just me or my headphones, man, but it's kind of, I don't know, maybe it's me. I'll have to work through it. I've worked through stuff before. One time I did a show in Merced, California, and right off the bat, I had a bad PA system. And when you were ring announcing, I don't want to be that guy that shakes it and goes, okay. Because you just got to keep going and going and going. So, hey, I'm used to it. I got to weather the storm. Talking about weather the storm. Have you ever took a shot where you say to yourself, man, I got to really get my legs from underneath me. This guy kind of caught me a little bit.
Oh, a couple times. Yeah, sometimes you get that shot and you just get kind of like a tingle that goes down your arm back up. I've had that a couple of times, and when that does, it's just kind of like, all right, step back. Let's re-look at things and try to go back at it in a different way.
Do you ever think of anything your dad might have said or anybody might have given you advice from their experience? A lot of times people say hold on or move around, don't stand in the corner.
Sometimes my dad would say sometimes hold, grab, but if it comes down to it, you bite down on your mouthpiece and you punch.
That's right.
If it comes down to it. So if you're in the corner and you're just getting tagged, sometimes the only thing you can do is bite down on the mouthpiece and punch.
Pull a Holyfield, huh? You hit me, I hit you.
Exactly.
There you go. Yeah, I think the mic's just loud. I'm going to stop complaining about it, but it is blowing my ears off. Listen, man, did you watch there it goes. Great. What happened? Amen. We'll take that. Did you watch boxing this weekend at all?
I haven't. I've been resting.
You didn't watch King Kong? You didn't see Ortiz?
I saw
Big
a little
heavyweight?
bit of it. But I didn't see all of it. I saw like the very endings.
Yeah, what was your take on that, Mike?
I mean, he fought a guy that was a little better than what everybody expected. Gave him a good, solid performance.
Well, he didn't fight a tomato can, that's for
No,
sure.
no.
Dude came to fight. I mean, he did not come to collect a paycheck. He came to win the fight.
Yeah,
he did everything possible to win the fight, even caught him a couple times. But Ortiz is very smart.
Ortiz is a very technical and very sound fighter.
Yes, he is.
So he's always going to be he's going to be in the fight with whoever he's fighting. He could fight Fury, he could fight Joshua, and I think he'll be in that fight.
I like Ortiz, and I don't want him to fight Fury because I also like Fury, and that's what's going on here. You got Mikey Garcia fighting Spence, but at the end of the day, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about who I am going for and what team Garcia. Oh, I already spilled the beans, huh? And who I'm really going for. And what about the main event? I mean, were you taken back by the draw? What was your whole take on the Laura fight?
I kind of expected it after a while. This is the way Laura is now. He can't move. He doesn't have the legs anymore. He's going to have to stand and trade. And the thing is, he doesn't have that type of power to keep somebody off of him.
Sit down on those punches.
Yeah, so he's going to have that problem. He's going to be in a good fight now because he does have a solid chin. Mm-hmm. But he's not going to be able to outbox somebody the way he used to.
I like that. So what would say your style is? Because I'm going to tell you what my take is, because I do watch your, I'm glad your dad doesn't put a lot of video, a lot of stuff about you up there. I mean, you're a mystery. You really are. But, we know some people that know some people that know some people that know some people. So I saw a little bit of stuff. How would you say your style is?
I mean, I'd say I'm an aggressive, more or less an aggressive fighter. I think what really counts for me in the game of super heavyweights is my conditioning. I'm able to go the rounds and sometimes take them to places they've never been before, and as well as conditioning wise.
Yeah, like put them to sleep when they don't expect to go to sleep. I mean, who wants to go Mimi when they want to play? You know what I mean? Like a little kid. I'm here to play, and you're putting me Mimi? Yeah. Bro, they should have made it and I'm wearing this right here, and I was thinking of you, like an Air Jordan commercial. For my man here, he hit a guy so hard, the dude was doing Air Jordan, but up backwards. I mean, his feet were off the ground. Coach Pete, he sent me that video, and I looked at it. Oh, my gosh, bro. I couldn't even, get too happy for you because then I was concerned about the guy that was going to sleep. And he wasn't moving for a while, bro. I mean, serious.
Yeah.
I mean, do you ever think about that? Man, Dad, this guy's not moving right now.
I mean, I never intentionally try to hurt him to that point, but, I mean, it is the name of the game, you know?
A touchdown's a touchdown. I didn't mean to put the 6 points on the board, but I want to make that touchdown. So you connected with everything you got.
Exactly. I mean, that's not I don't intend to hurt him long term. That's never what I want. I feel bad afterwards. I wouldn't want that to happen.
Good sportsmanship.
But I mean, I get in the ring to win the fight. And
Absolutely.
It's the hurt game. That's what it is.
It is. It's the hurt business.
Exactly.
It's the hurt business.
You know what you're getting into when you step in that ring.
Hey, Richard knows what he's getting into.
Exactly.
And believe me, he knows what he's eating too. I want to talk about when you're not training, man. What's your main thing you like to get down on and knock out some comida? What do you like to do? What do you like to eat, man? Besides pizza. Everybody says pizza.
Nah, I like the burritos, and me and my dad always go to that Sal's over in Fresno, right?
Okay, hold on a second. Sal's in Fresno. You can send the check to, we're here. What's our address here? Because we don't get free plugs here, my man. You see my water right here? See, we don't get free plugs.
No.
But just that one, we'll take that one out of your check, because I know one day.
But that's like
one day you
tradition.
can bring me a burrito.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Then I always get a cherry Coke. That's my only
cherry
thing.
Coke?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's like after a competition, we'll always go there after the plane ride, and I always get a cherry Coke after a competition.
Without throwing Pops underneath the bus, man. What's it like living with Pops, man?
I mean, it has its up and downs. You never want to go home with a coach after a bad day of practice, you know.
Oh, I feel you.
But it's always fun to go home with them after a win, you know. So it has its up and downs. But I'm really glad that my dad's my coach, because it's that everyday grind, you know.
Bro, right now, he's your coach and your manager. I mean, a lot of my info that I get is from your Pops.
Exactly.
I mean, when he tags me, I'm like, okay, I'll stop and I'll read exactly everything, and I absorb it as much as I can. And I'm grateful for that, because there's a lot of people, they won't, share that intel, that information,
right.
And your dad does.
Yeah, and having my dad as that is really helpful to me, because I trust him wholeheartedly. You know, there's not one shred of doubt I have in him. So anything he says and anything he does goes, you know.
There it is there. That's that respect and that reverence and that upbringing, man. Growing up, man, who did you like to watch?
I like to watch my dad, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I always, there's one video of him on YouTube. And
I'm going to have to check that out.
I always go back and I watch it. I watch his combination he throws. I watch everything like that.
Yeah,
and
what was his combination? Hook to the body?
He kind of throw that Tyson sometimes. He throw that double hook to the body and that uppercut. Yeah, I saw him a couple of times. And throw that jab. He had a beautiful jab, a triple jab.
Okay, like when the guy had his hands up, is he trying to split it with the other hand? Maybe
a little
pull his
bit.
gloves down a little bit?
But it's more of that just forced jab, boom, and just snaps the head back and then straight to the body.
That
after
Tommy Hearns jab.
Exactly.
There you go, man. I'm going to have to look that up, some footage. We're going to find that and put it in the back here. We'll find it. We'll do it, man. Listen, man. If you weren't playing, I wouldn't say playing. Let me change that.
You don't play boxing.
Yeah, exactly. If you were not participating in boxing, what would you be doing?
I'd be at school. I'd be probably at Cal Poly right now in engineering. I mean, I had that set up. There was a kind of a crossroad I had at the end of high school. I graduated as a valedictorian. And
congratulations on that.
I appreciate that. And so I had kind of two ways. I was already set up to go to Cuesta Community College that fed into Cal Poly, and I was into being an engineer. But a month after I graduated my senior year, they called me up, the Olympic Training Center, and it said, "How would you like to be one of the residents?"
Exactly. And I brag about that. I really do. Mm-hmm. I do. I tell people, man, this dude, has a bunk and everything. It's right there.
Heck yeah.
It says champs. It says Olympic gold.
Yeah.
And when you have that kind of skill in the ring and in that capacity in your mind, that makes one of the greatest boxers. Think about Juan Manuel Marquez.
Yeah.
One of the smartest men.
High IQ.
Yeah. In the ring and then outside
James
of it.
Stoney has a great IQ
exactly.
too. Bernard Hopkins, the list goes on.
And honestly, as much jokes as they could make, Floyd Mayweather is one of the smartest men business-wise.
Oh, business-wise, yeah. He really is.
So you could say everything, but if you
look at... And I'm
going
to talk about that too. Make sure you bring that up too, because I don't want to see him and Canelo again. I mean, come on, bro. That Oscar, really, bro? Okay, you couldn't beat him. Ortiz couldn't beat him. It didn't happen the first time, bro. But I thought Oscar and him could have at least been a draw, or Oscar could have got the victory. I will say that.
But if they fight again,
that's all Oscar, bro.
But if Canelo fights him now, there's no
3-4 rounds.
As you said, Oscar Dewan, don't put your cousin in that fight, bro. Do not put your cousin in that fight.
Don't do that, man. Nah,
let him live.
I don't like to see fighters fight past their prime, especially with the youngster. Yeah. Now, they're going to stay on the senior tour, and no offense to anybody, then that's cool. I can watch that happen.
Yeah, what was the Rios and Soto from a couple weeks back? That was a great fight.
It was a great fight.
Yeah, and they were both at the same point, so I mean.
But I'll tell you who I want to see, and no, I'm not matchmaking Cassius Clay. That's an inside joke. That's somebody who started hating. I would love to see Brandon Bam Bam Rios and Hector Macho Camacho Jr. That I want to see. That I want to make well, no, I can't make. I can make that happen here on the radio show. I can talk about it. We can talk about whatever we want to talk about.
Exactly.
But see, this youngster's going, who's that? You know what I mean? He probably is. Because I want to talk about Crawford. Who's Cassius Clay? You know what I mean? Right?
Cassius Clay, I know, of course.
Okay,
but,
okay. I'm just giving you a hard time, man.
Yeah.
I'm just busting him a little bit. But you asked your dad one day. I want to have a cold adult drink with your dad one day and just chop up boxing one day, man. But I'm still waiting for that because he said he's inviting for a barbecue one day. I haven't still got. He's like Christian Printup. Christian, I know you're watching the show. Still waiting for that chocolate all the way from Canada. It's been about 2 years on the candy.
Well, yeah,
about 2 years
when
on
I
the
came
Canada.
out last year, you guys,
it's 2 years on the candy.
Tell me about that.
2 years on the candy, and your dad's about a year and a half on the barbecue.
Man, I know we gotta get on that.
We definitely got to get on that, man.
Yep.
But hey, this is what I really want to talk to you about. The man has skill. I mean, chess player.
Yeah.
And he does magic acts. He does. He does. So I'm gonna get all my bills. I want you to make them puppies just disappear, man. I'm serious, man. Put them in Mike's name.
Oh no,
I can
Put
make
them in
it.
put them in your pop's name because your pop's is a principal.
I can do it on paper. I don't know about online.
Hey, I know his pops has a big 5 or 6 in front of his check.
Oh man,
Just huge. I see what those administrators make. How many want to go back to school?
right?
No, I'm just giving it a hard time. It's okay to have fun on the show, man.
Exactly.
You got to have fun. It can't be all boring and stuff. We can still get information out, man. So let me ask you this right here. Let's get right to it. We got time? Yes. Mikey Garcia, right? You know he's taking on. Who is he taking on? Spence. At Spence's backyard. Mikey Garcia agreed to that. He agreed to move up 2 weights. He initiated the fight. He didn't say, okay, yeah, I'll fight him. He's backed up in the corner. He initiated the fight. Give me your whole take on who's going to win and the way Mikey Garcia thinks as an individual and what he wants to be remembered by, his legacy, because he's just going for it. He wants to make a name for himself, which he already has.
That's definitely makes a statement in the entire boxing nation, the entire boxing world. A little bit about it is like all the guys on Team USA always talk about everybody.
Yeah.
What their thoughts behind it is they think that 2 weight class jump might be a little too much, especially for Spence because it's Spence, and some guys like that. I mean, I've done it. I've gone up 2 weight classes before to fight a guy, and I lost. I lost to that guy back when I was a little kid. I got the fight back, and I won when we were the same weight. But
when you took the fight, with the mentality, I'm here to win, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
No, of course you don't take the fight ever just because of that.
Absolutely.
It's always you come into the fight looking to win it. If not, you get hurt.
So who do you have in that fight, and why, and how do you see that fight taking place?
Oh man, I think it's gonna be a close fight, but I mean because of the 2 jump weight class, I think it'd be really hard for Mikey Garcia to pull this one out. I mean, I think it's gonna be a really good fight, but that weight does a number on people, man. That weight, that size. If you're in the ring like that, it's gonna put some pressure on you.
That's my concern too. It really is. But they asked Sugar Ray Leonard recently, and Ali Setback asked him that question. He said, "Who do you have in this fight?" And he said, "Mikey Garcia." And when Ali asked him why, he said, "Because it's Mikey."
Oof.
He said, "Because it's Mikey." Meaning his whole career he's been moving up, taking on challenges. I mean, look at after taking over a year off and you fight the #1 champion of the world, and we all know the way that happened.
Yeah.
But then again, you're moving up and you're giving up a lot of body mass. So he's going to have to do every single thing right to be
Can't make a
successful
mistake
in that fight.
fight.
No, not in that fight because of the power that Spence brings in the speed. But 2 undefeated fighters, how do you tell another undefeated fighter, today's the day you lose?
Yeah.
They don't even know what that means. They don't even know what that word exists like. They don't comprehend that word.
They haven't lost since the amateur days, so
exactly.
they don't even remember what it feels like anymore.
Exactly. And I know you're going to give me a long answer, Mike, with a breakdown, but I want you to hold that because we're going to take a commercial break in a little while. I want to ask Junior one last thing before we take this break, man. Hey, man, because I notice a lot of people, when they come to this place, they always get confused, but I saw a dude coming out of the massage parlor, dude, before he got here. Him and Pops. And I'm not even mad. It was like that 2-for-1 sale. A lot of people say, "Rich, where are you at? I can't find the place." And I always tell them it's about the massage parlor. But then they're coming out, man. They're coming out of the massage parlor. And I'm thinking,
Got there an hour early.
They got there an hour early. I can't say I'm upset, a little jealous. But I mean, next time we'll go do the radio show at the massage parlor. We can do this. We can make that happen. I mean, we can have any beginning and ending that we want. Because it's the radio show and we have fun. Like I said, we're simply knocking out the competition. Hey, Rich Ortiz here. I'm your host of the Fighter's Voice Knockout Radio Show. We'll be coming right back with more of Junior. Richard Torres Jr. is going to talk about gold, and I'm going to talk about Mike, about Spence, and Mikey Garcia. We'll be right back.
I'm Bob Arum, and I'm with the Fighter's Voice.
My name is Andre Ward.
Knocking out the competition.
Fighter's Voice!
The Fighter's Voice.
And we're back. Richard Ortiz live in Fresno, California. Thanks for following on the Fighters Voice Facebook Live. And also, don't forget, it's going to be downloaded on www.youtube.com/The Fighters Voice, www.thefightersvoice.com. We need more subscribers and listeners and viewers because we want to be the hottest show, not just in Fresno, but global. And talk about global, man. Let's talk about Richard's career right here, man. Have you already envisioned yourself winning Olympic gold and representing Team USA?
It's been a dream since I was 4. I mean, I remember talking to my dad. I remember being in the living room watching the Pan American Games when I was 9, and me and my dad talking about one day I'll be there. And now I'm going to be going to the Pan Am qualifiers in Nicaragua next month.
My gosh, I'm just thinking about that because a lot of people don't even get that opportunity, and you have the opportunity.
Exactly.
How long is that from now?
It is April 2nd is the
so that's the first one, right?
Is the qualifiers, and then from there it's in Peru in March. I mean,
man, that's right on. I get goosebumps thinking about that. Man, that's awesome. So how are we feeling right now? We feeling strong? We feeling good?
I'm feeling good. Yeah, feeling real good after that tournament. It was a really good tournament, really good showing. I was able to perform and show some of the international refs a little more about me, and that's a lot.
That's good.
Yeah, that's one big reason why our Coach Billy has us go to all these tournaments.
There you go.
He wants to get our name out to everybody else.
Exactly. So then they know the style of fight that you bring.
Yeah. Exactly.
Networking with your fists.
Exactly.
I like that, man. Yeah. What's your take on that, Mike? I mean, look who we're sitting next to, man.
That's a good strategy because, of course, once you get to the qualifiers and then once you get into the Olympics, they already have an understanding of how you fight, what you bring, what you're going to do. So they don't, think that you're going to come out here and try anything dirty. They already know what you have. So they're not going to, come in there with the mindset of this is how he's going to come out here and do something.
Yeah, I don't want to see the judges with the Roy Joneses or the Floyd Mayweathers or who's that Irish guy to let them know you're on number one?
Conlon.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, but yeah, come on. Yeah. Come on, guys. I'm confident here because my man's going to take it definitely in his own hands, man.
Yeah, he's probably going to knock them all out. So
and this guy's a bull, man. He's a bull and light on his feet, almost like a ballet dancer. But when the bell rings, he does press the action. I don't want to say I don't want to say boxer puncher, but boxer slugger, something.
Just well-rounded.
No, it's a guy got pop, bro. Like I said, kind of Tommy Morrison, but with the chin.
Yeah.
A little more pop.
Yeah, and Morrison, honestly, he wasn't bad defensively.
No,
he just didn't have a chin.
Oh,
but he
no,
wasn't
Tommy
bad
had that left hook though.
Yeah,
remember him and Razor Ruddock?
Yeah.
Oh man, that was classic. That was a good one. I know your dad knows about that fight.
You can watch that fight all day.
All day long, man. What fights do you watch today, or what fighters do you like today?
Lomachenko. I like Lomachenko's footwork, everything like that. I like the lefty fighters, like Pacquiao. I like his hands, his combinations, the rate he throws it at. I mean, yeah, a lot of the lefty fighters I'll watch. Even Ortiz, I like watching Ortiz too.
Yeah.
I mean, just his style, the Cuban style, I mean, you can't beat it sometimes.
No, man, but I'm going to tell you some other lefties. I'm going to name 2 legendary lefties, man, and I'm sure your pops knows who they are. Pernell Whitaker.
Yeah, Pernell.
Okay.
My dad roomed with them at the hit when he went to the, when he roomed at the Olympic Training Center, he roomed with them when he went overseas too.
What? How come I just barely learning about this? See, your pop's been holding out, man, because I asked your dad, okay, so give me some fight stories, and he goes, oh, my son. I said, no, I want, give me some fight stories, some wars. He goes, oh, my son. I go, okay, so no. Yeah, I'm going to have to pull that out of your dad.
You got to.
And also Hector Camacho Sr.
Okay.
Say what you want about that man, because towards the end of the career, he started a box. He wouldn't sit down anymore, but I mean, because you got to remember, he moved up in weight, but early in his career,
he went up to 160.
Yeah, early in his career, was knocking people out, and he had an iron chin. He's never been knocked out. Been knocked down, never been knocked out. So, anyways, I do want to ask you. Don't forget about Michael Moore, lefty.
Oh yeah,
another lefty champion. Michael Moore, great jab. He was actually right-handed. Yes, exactly. And I remember talking to late great Emmanuel Stewart, and he said, Richard, when he was a light heavyweight, there was no way in God's green earth I was going to let him and Tommy spar. And the one time they wanted to spar, he was not going to allow it. I mean, that would have just been talk about some hands breaking and some jaws breaking. I mean, these guys just bring it, my man.
And I think Michael Moore, as great as he was, is only going to be remembered for one thing, honestly. And that's what sucks. That's the sport, though.
It happened. Yeah,
that's the sport.
George Foreman. Yep. Exactly.
And leading up to that moment, he was dominating, putting on the best performance of his career.
Yeah, but you know what, George? Yeah, he was. But George flipped the whole script on that whole thing.
George knew what he was doing.
He reinvented himself as a fighter, who's a very smart fighter and businessman.
Yeah. Well, if you looked at it through the whole fight, George was setting up that punch the whole night, and he just caught him. That was it.
If you remember that whole fight, I'm going to take it back only because he brought it up. That particular fight, and your dad could probably vouch for this because I'm sure he watches every single thing. I watch every single thing from the weigh-in to the walk and to see if I can pick up anything. When he walked inside the ring, he had a sweatshirt on and he was throwing combinations left and right because he wanted to be warm because he was ready to do it that first round. He didn't want a filling out process, just like a pitcher when they're warming up in the bullpen. When you warmed up, when they put you on the mound, they're not there to get warmed up. You got to go and throw strikes. Right. So Big George was ready. So and he got his opportunity, his second opportunity. Most men don't get that much because against Holyfield, Holyfield just out hustled him.
Yeah,
and at the end, Holyfield was holding on.
Yeah, and he gave a good performance against Holyfield too.
Absolutely, yes, he did. In that senior tour, I wanted to see Larry Holmes and Big George.
I think George would have annihilated him at that point.
You think so?
At that point, yeah.
Well, I mean, because Larry Holmes was doing okay at the end because he had that jab.
Yeah, he was doing okay, but just as you said, Foreman reinvented, and he's always going to have that power. Yeah, and it was just. I think it would have been good for maybe 5 or 6 rounds, and eventually Foreman would have pawed that jab out there, got his attention, and that was it. Yeah. That right hand was just – there was no way to get back from that one.
You got to watch the jab of George Foreman. I'm sorry, not the jab. I'm sorry, the jab of Larry Holmes. Okay. George Foreman kind of had that.
Yeah.
Towards the end, and sort of the Kenny Norton. Who else had that? Does Pops know? Pops knows.
Frazier had that, didn't he?
Yeah, well, he did. Yeah, kind of with that big left hook. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you watch that still. That's right. Joe Frazier. I had the chance to meet Joe Frazier in Las Vegas. We went up to Peter McNeely and Mike Tyson. Joe Frazier was there. He had a broken arm at the time. And I said, hey, my mom wants to meet you and take a picture. He goes, yeah, come here, Mom. Nice guy, man. All these champions, a very nice guy. Oh, yeah. Out of all the athletes and professional fighters that you met, who stands out the most?
I haven't met that many professional fighters. If I'm completely honest with you.
Really?
Honestly, I've been to one pro fight, and I watched the fighters, but I haven't met a couple of. Well,
you win that goal, your whole life's about to change.
Exactly. I'm
going to ask you, what talk show host do you like the most? That's what I'm going to ask you. You know what I mean?
Fight out.
Right?
There we go.
Exactly.
Yeah. But I sparred with Brian Jennings. And I know Shakur Stevenson really well. Okay. So a couple of guys that I've been on Crawford. I go to his gym sometimes, and we spar with their sparring partners and stuff like that.
Well, Crawford goes to a lot of the USA events, right? Exactly. Yeah, he's always there.
Crawford's a real cool guy.
Yeah, I've known that for years. That he always after he fought Gamboa, he went to the Worlds that same weekend.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's what I like to see is that support system, man. Yeah. About that giving back.
Exactly.
Now, who in the pros right now? Who would you like to spar with? I'm not saying who you want to fight. Who would you like to get some movement with and say, okay, hey, I'd love to share the ring with you. That's the approach you got to have. You're not saying, hey, I want to fight you. I would love to share the ring with you. Who would you love to share
I want to learn from you.
Who would you like to share the ring with?
I'd want to share the ring with Ortiz and Joshua. I think those guys are because I spar with Anthony Joshua's sparring partner. I spar with his sparring partner, so I want to see how it translates from sparring a sparring partner to sparring the actual man, And there's always Wilder. I always want to see. You see it in TV, but you never truly believe the power, Yeah. I mean, that's some of the stuff, like 218, 214, the amount of power that guy has is just insane.
It's just natural power.
Exactly.
Hey, I'm going to say something crazy right now, but I know Dad will agree with me, and I'm going to ask him when we bring him on this next segment. There's some heavyweights, no, not champions. Well, no, there's some heavyweights today that you can do very, very well with right now if you were to fight them. I'm not going to mention their names, but almost a name slipped out because I was going to say, hey, I want you to spar this guy, or I would like to see you with. But you know what? You'd probably get dude out of there.
Yeah.
No, really.
No, yeah, I agree. There's a few guys there that the division isn't as deep as it used to be. That's
not taking anything away from Junior. Junior's about to clean this whole thing up.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. He's 19, so to think about it as a 19-year-old to go in there. I'm not saying these guys aren't great.
Who do you think's going to be around by the time Junior gets into the pros?
Are you going to turn pro after the Olympics?
That's the plan.
So 21. Wilder will probably still be there if he wants. Joshua's going to be there for a while because he's only 27, 28.
Well, man's watching them all right now.
Yeah. So the one that I'm really interested in is there's one from New Zealand. He beat up Joseph Parker like 3 times in the amateurs. Okay. His name's Junior Fa. He just won.
Fa.
Yeah, he just won
the soup.
Yeah, he won one of those middle of the line titles over the weekend. So I'm real interested in him because he's tall and he reminds me of George Foreman at the end. Yeah. How he didn't look like he had that power, and then you see him hit somebody and you're like, oh,
bro, this is the heavyweight division. Everybody got power.
Yeah, but no, there are some that didn't have that same amount of power.
Yeah, there's some that don't got that power. We're talking about one hitter quitter power.
Yeah, and this guy has that, but he doesn't look like he has that. He just looks like oh, he probably outbox you or something, and then you see him hit somebody, and you're like, okay.
Yeah.
So he'll probably be there too as well.
I think every heavyweight in the division has to be respected. Talk about respected. We're going to respect these commercials right now. We're coming right back. We're going to have Richard Torres Sr. and we're going to give Junior a break, and then we're going to bring him right back. Hey, I'm your host, Richard Ortiz of the Fighter's Voice Knockout Radio Show. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Jose Ramirez.
I'm Bob Arum.
Hi, I'm Robert Garcia, and I'm with the Fighter's Voice.
The only radio show knocking out the competition. Fighter's Voice Radio Show.
Fresno, California, we're back. The Fighter's Voice Knockout Radio Show. With us in studio, we have Senior, Richard Torres Sr., the father of Richard Torres Jr., who's chasing Olympic gold. Welcome to the show, Richard. How we doing, sir?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thanks for having us.
Hey, man, it's always a pleasure, man. I'm finding out new things over and over again, man. I want to jump right into it. So what's the relationship you had with Sweet Pea, Pernell Whitaker?
You know what? It was a relationship where I went to World Championships as a youth, and he was on the USA Olympic gold team, and they threw us in the room together. We didn't talk a whole bunch, but, we said hello, how's it going? Slept next to the bed next to him.
Yeah.
He's a cool guy. He's real good.
There you go. You never know who's going to be who in the sport of boxing.
Never know who. A lot of times in the past, they'd say, hey, do you know so-and-so, Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield? Yeah, they were standing in line next to me. We're weighing in at the various tournaments. Are you friends with them? I thought they were going to come shake my hand. I thought I was the one to be there.
There you go. I like that.
But, they're all nice guys.
Yeah, they're all very nice guys. Actually, who's in town right now is Hector Macho Camacho Jr.
Mm-hmm.
He's in town right now. Very nice guy. Different than his father as far as not as flamboyant, but down to earth, nice, caring guy. And I can say just by hanging out with him, he loves kids, man.
Yep.
He loves reading children's books and just being around them.
Hector Macho Camacho Sr., Liberace of boxing, man.
Exactly.
He there,
very well said. He opened up the door for as far as showmanship.
For everybody else that came after him, yeah.
Absolutely. From the shorts to the
ring entrance.
Absolutely. Press conference. I mean, he took over the show, and he was definitely macho time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So let's talk about Richard Torres Jr., man. I mean, you know what? I want to describe it, and let me know if I'm wrong or right. You know that present underneath the Christmas tree? You know what it is. You just can't open it until Christmas. You know what you have, sir. You just can't. You got to wait. You know what I mean? But you know what you have. You know you have Olympic gold medalist. You know you have the next heavyweight champion of the world. You just have to wait for that time to come.
Well, I don't want to be presumptuous. I like to think that things have to come together.
Sure.
No matter what it is, everything's got to come together. He's got to stay healthy. He's got to stay focused. He's got to stay in the gym. He's got to stay conditioned. All needs to come to focus. If everything plays out, it's like watching a cake. I know what the cake's going to be nice. It's good. You just got to be patient and wait for it to mature and come to be. And this is what my boys, we're waiting for that time to be. He's young. Some of the older guys in the professional ranks right now, the heavyweight, they're 30, 25.
That's
30.
true.
Yeah, boy's 19. He's got a long life, and we want to make sure we protect that. He's got life after boxing, and we want to make sure we protect that also.
That's a great, responsible father answer. It really is, because it covers it down. Us as fans, as watching outside, we see it. We're watching it materialize every day, every day, every day. And every time he comes on the show, you can see the maturity. You can see the growth.
Yep.
And that comes down from upbringing. Where's Mom at? Because Mom's usually here. She's been here at both shows, right? She's not here today?
No, she's doing her job. She works teaching literacy, and she's...
Tell her we said hi, because she's always fun to be around with, and she always appreciates the show, man.
Biggest fan.
Our biggest regards, man. Really.
I will do that. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So how's work, man? How do you separate work, man? Because I know you're a principal. Talk to us about that.
Well, I'm assistant principal.
Assistant principal.
I don't want to take the
a lot of times principals would say, okay, I got a meeting, and then who's the principal? Well, they're gone.
It's always good to say, my principal is Steve Ramirez, and it's always good to say, that's a principal call, and pass on that buck a little bit.
There you go. So, exactly.
But, it's good. I mean, I deal with continuation kids on expulsion and things like that. So they bring a different atmosphere at times to the campus, and you just got to learn to work with them. It's a rough crowd, and the kids...
different approach, too.
A different approach. We just got to, you can't put that lid on the pot of boiling potatoes too hard. If you try to squish it, it's going to blow up on you.
Exactly.
So you kind of go with the roll with the punches, as they say.
Exactly. I work with kids too, and I was told by a very wise principal, Mr. Daryl Yates, he's from Kerman. He said, Richard, never put a kid in a corner. Always give him a window.
They got to have a win-win.
Yes, exactly, and that seems to work for me. And I'm glad you're in. I always say we're in the kid business. I mean, we get paid to work with kids. I enjoy my job, and it sounds like you're enjoying your job too.
Love it.
Because every time he comes right from work, all slicked up, I always feel underdressed, man. I know because I got my sweats on because I've been cheating, so I got it right from here. I got to make sure I get to the gym.
You got to play that part a little bit. You know, I got to let the kids, give a sense of respect and give it and take it.
Absolutely, man. That respect goes a long way, especially when you give it. It's definitely nothing but positive is coming back. I want to ask you the same question I asked your son.
Yep.
Spence or Mikey Garcia, and why?
You know what? All respect to both fighters, man. I would not want to be the one taking any of those punches that they're throwing.
Yeah.
Mikey's got some kind of magic. He's got some kind of magic that he steps in there and he does a lot of some things like, wow, I didn't think he can do that. I didn't think he'd be at this level for this long. Yeah, I'm gonna stay California and I'm gonna say Mikey Garcia. I got to go against my boy, so we can have a little competition.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. I was gonna ask you about that. How's the household? Is it very competitive at all?
Yeah, it is.
Is it really?
Not as much. I learned
because of his chess game, or what's going on? Because the man can play chess, right?
Yeah, he can play chess. I can't play chess, so it's just I learned my place now because I'm older now. My knees hurt, everything hurts. So, but when
you could tell when it's going to rain, right? Before you even hit the forecast from your knees.
And it's funny because they would say in psychology you're supposed to let a kid win until they're 7, and then after that you start teaching them. I said ever since he's little. Bam! I slammed him, man.
Let's go. I like that.
Let's go for the play. Go fish. Slam! I win.
No easy wins. No easy wins,
man. And then let's go for a run. Bam! I smoke him, and it's like, come on, you can do this and stuff. Now he's doing it and stuff, and he's got that competitive.
Can you imagine there being at home 2 hungry big bulls, and they're fighting for that last tortilla? I mean, they just rip it in half. You know what I mean?
I got to give him credit though. One time when he were younger, I don't know, he was 15, 16. Yeah, I'm a stocky short guy and stuff, and when we started wrestling, and all the other times before I got him. And then one time he got me in this chokehold, and I'm thinking, oh, he's got me. And I said, okay, I can slam him against the door. I can slam him against the wall. We'll break some things. Nah, I just tapped out.
We'll break some
So that's the last time we wrestled.
There you go.
He beat me.
There you go. Man. That take place, Junior?
Yeah, I did.
Man, Junior said, heck yeah, I did.
Yep.
He said he's down for it again. No, but that's Pops right there, man. That's Pops. I tried wrestling with Richard one time. He didn't want to do it. Maybe because he knew he would throw me down, and just have his way with me. I think, I think that's exactly what it was.
You get it at a certain point in life where you got to win.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, I've always tried to win.
You cheat to win, but you got to win.
Hey, I take every advantage that I can, and I turn it into an opportunity and say it's mine and claim it, man. Man, I tell you, having both a father and son tandem is remarkable because a lot of times that combination doesn't work. It seems to be working good with the Flores from Stockton, California, Gabriel Flores Sr. and Jr.
Yeah.
There's been some fallouts in the pros.
Mosley and Roy Jones.
Well, yes. I mean, they worked with their fathers, and a lot of times they didn't see eye to eye. Floyd Mayweather Sr. and Jr., now they rehash, but a lot of times it didn't work.
The best one right now is got to be Lomachenko and his dad.
Well, that's fine, too. But I also like Danny Garcia and his father worked really well. They get along. It's still there. They become a champion. You got Felix Trinidad and his dad. They work really well, too.
Yeah.
It is hard. It is hard because, at a certain point in life, you got to remember you have your son, and they're growing up, maturing. Your daughter, I have a great daughter too, and she's awesome. Going to Fresno State, go State.
Amen.
And but you got to let him kind of make those mistakes himself.
Yeah.
You're the safety net as a parent. You're a safety net for them, and let them make those mistakes so you can catch them and say, hey, this is where we went wrong. This is what's going on. I've never been one to crush anybody. As far as my boy, my students, it's not about crushing. It's about learning life lessons throughout everything.
I like that. Yeah. Life lessons. See, that's that teacher part in them. Exactly. That's exactly life lessons, man, because those are the best lessons ever. And it depends on what you do with them and how you learn from them. It's the opportunity to fail and have a great team around you to help you prevail at the very end.
It's how you respond to what you get. It's the best thing.
Exactly, man. But let me ask you this, man. Can anybody make John Jones respond by being hurt? Can anybody even touch that man? I'm going to switch it up in MMA right now. I mean, I may not agree with what he's doing outside the cage, but inside that cage, the man is the greatest of all time. What's your take on that, Mike?
Hands down. I mean, I've always been an Anderson Silva fan, but John Jones has skills that have not been matched. And respect to Anthony Smith.
Yeah, for not
'Cause
taking that cheap win.
That I honestly, I mean, that was a solid knee.
Yeah, it was.
And
It
I was
was.
like, he's not getting up. And the fact that he didn't think like, oh, I'm gonna take. He just let's go. That's
Exactly.
the utmost respect for that man. for
Exactly.
that.
Are you an MMA fan as well as boxing?
You're talking Greek to me, man.
Oh, we're talking Greek too.
Yeah, man. I don't know.
Man, we try to cover all the combatant sports here as much as possible. At least, let all the viewers and listeners know we try to keep up with it as much as possible, man. And I don't ever try to get away from why we're here and what we're doing, but you don't ever want to interrupt a great conversation. Like I got to interrupt right now, but we'll be coming right back from commercial, and we're still going to have Richard Torres Sr. on here for our last segment, and then I'll bring Junior in to throw a flurry, and we'll end the show. Remember, any questions, bring them to us. Richard Torres Sr. and Jr. I'm Richard Ortiz, your host of the Fighters Voice Knockout Radio Show. We'll be right back.
I'm Bob Arum, and I'm with the Fighter's Voice.
My name is Andre Ward.
Knocking out the competition. Fighters Voice! The Fighters Voice.
Hi, I'm Jose Ramirez.
I'm Bob Arum.
Hi, I'm Robert Garcia, and I'm with the Fighter's Voice.
The only radio show knocking out the competition. Fighters Voice Radio Show.
Fresno, California, we're back and we're live here in studio. I want to say Madera, California. I'm kind of feeling Madera. We need to go shoot in Madera. We're always shooting everywhere else.
Yeah.
We really are. Like we went to Robert Garcia's Boxing Academy, and I want to talk to you about that right off the top. We will be releasing those videos, those interviews, I believe. When are we releasing those, KP? Yeah, pretty soon, because that fight's coming around the corner, and I don't want to lose all that content. We got an exclusive with Mikey Garcia on location at Robert Garcia's Boxing Academy, an exclusive with Robert Garcia and Robert Garcia Jr. I mean, it was just awesome. We talked about boxing, we talked about family, we talked about dancing, we talked about romance, we talked about Robert's first love, and when he got married, when he saw his beautiful wife for the first time, he said Cupid shot him right in the butt. Just boom, got him. You know what that's like, right, sir?
Yeah, I know what it's like.
There's proof right there. Richard Torres Jr. is proof right there.
Yep.
Exactly. But no, we got some boxing news coming up, man. Mike, I want you to take it away. Let us know, touch a little recap, and let us know what we could expect this weekend and get Senior's take on that.
Well, we had Lara getting the draw, King Kong getting his victory. Tough fights. This weekend, we got 2 title fights.
Yes.
On Showtime or.
One's on Showtime and one's on
DAZN.
Yeah. Well, actually, isn't it Fox 1? We got.
Oh no, that's Fox and in DAZN.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so it's Porter and Yordenis Ugas. That's a very underrated fight that I'm very excited to see because
I'm not a Porter fan, man.
I love Porter.
Comes in with his head, bro.
I love Porter, but Ugas, as he said earlier, as Richard said about Cuban style.
Yeah.
Complete opposite of the original Cuban style.
Yeah.
This man comes to put on a show. He comes to fight. He does not come to, try to outbox you. He comes to try to beat you up. 8 fights in a row. Great fight. I'm looking forward to that one. Then on DAZN, we got Bivol. I think possibly the best light heavyweight in the world right now.
Yeah, I think you're right on that.
And Joe Smith Jr., the man that knocked out Bernard Hopkins and sent him into retirement. Looking forward to that. That's hard punches. Whoever can take the other's punch is going to win that fight.
Yeah, I mean, that looks good on paper, put him in retirement, but we all know what would have happened. I mean, that's just like, the list goes on, man. I mean, Sugar Ray Leonard, Camacho.
But Hopkins is one of the few fighters that it was until you actually seen it happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Because how many times were we, Cali Pavlik?
Yeah.
Who else was it? Antonio Tarver, Pascal. He did it so many times that it was until you actually see him.
And there's another guy, I just can't name him right now. Pops, I need your help. A lefty. He made everybody look bad. He was a lefty. Bernard Hopkins beat him. Prior to that, he was beating everybody. 154s, then he moved out up to 160s. 168s. Winky Wright, my man.
How do you not know his name?
I just, sometimes it happens.
He beat
I was
Mosley
looking
twice.
at that Bobby Salazar's hat right now. And it kind of threw me out. I'm thinking of food and salsa.
Yeah.
No, Winky Wright, man.
No,
I mean, legit.
he had everything.
One of the most
as well.
avoided fighters in the world.
One of the most underrated fighters.
Absolutely.
I'm glad he got into the Hall of Fame on time.
Yes, he
'Cause
deserved it.
I thought they were going to keep him out for a while, but no, he earned that spot.
Definitely,
Yeah.
man.
He was very avoided as well.
Pops, so who do you have this weekend? Being the names that have been said and some of the fights that are taking place, what stands out the most to you that you want to sit down in front of the tube and just watch it, absorb it?
Bilbo, the guy, light heavyweight.
Yeah.
I'm interested in him. I think he's got a great style. I think he's savage. I like the way he competes. So I'm going to watch that one.
That's going to be an interesting fight, man.
His style is he doesn't look like he's throwing a power punch and then the guy's asleep. It's just it's so fluid.
Almost kind of like misleading, the way he just kind of moves around.
One of the ones he had on HBO way back.
Those are the dangerous fighters.
Yeah, because he knocked the guy out in the first round and it literally looked like he just threw a regular straight right hand and the guy was out before he hit the ground. And you watch it over and over and you're like, well, okay, I guess. But then you heard the shot when they replayed it and you're like, all right, well, that sounded louder than what I remembered. It's just he has, as you said, that one hitter, but he looks like he has it, but when he throws the punch, you're still like, where'd that come from? So he has that skill.
Kind of deceiving.
You know, he has that skill and he has that power and he's poker face, man.
There you go.
Never changes.
Oh, man. Yeah, some of the greats are all poker face. What's this crazy rumor I'm hearing about Demetrius Johnson, okay, wanting to fight Floyd Mayweather?
It's not going to happen.
I mean, come on, man. Everybody wants a piece of Floyd. Why is that?
They want a piece of that money.
Exactly.
Because they know anything
If
with
someone-
Floyd's name on it is money.
If someone told me, would you go fly for Floyd right now for $2 million, I'd be on the first plane out there.
You know, I'm going to be honest. Back then, about maybe 2 years ago, no longer. Yeah, I wanted to see Floyd. I mean, anybody you see that's undefeated, you want to see them get knocked down sometimes, or at least touch, or show that they are human. I no longer want to see that anymore. Because why would you put that on your mantle now?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
it's a
not the
shell
same
of
now.
himself.
Yeah, it's not
like
the same.
like we talked about earlier, Oscar De La Hoya. I mean, proposing Canelo. Bro, Canelo has a tough fight in front of him before you start thinking about Floyd Mayweather. And then even talking about him and the Crusher at light heavyweight. I mean, come on, man.
Crazy thing is, I think Canelo could beat the Crusher at light heavyweight now.
What do you think, Pops?
I don't know. I think everybody's passing him off too quick.
Yeah.
Pressure. I think he had some setbacks, but I think he still got it.
I'm pulling for him in the light heavyweight division. It's going to be tough because it's starting to heat up, but I'm pulling for him.
I want to see him and Bivol.
That'd be good. Yeah.
I know everybody wants better BF. I want him and Bivol first, and then
Why is he a better fighter today than he was before? The Crusher?
Kovalev, because he adapted his style.
Because of who?
McGirt.
Buddy McGirt.
Not a lot of fighters, once they get to that point, will adapt their style. They think they're too good. They got to that point. He adapted. Yeah, he adapted, and look what he did.
He threw more left hooks than he's ever thrown before.
He went to the body.
Exactly. And that was one I wanted to add. Kept the jab. Most of all, kept the game plan and didn't channel off the game plan.
I think when he fought Ward, he was jab for jab with Ward. No one does that. He was jab for jab. So when he left the jab, it was kind of like, what are you doing? That's one of your best
Ward
weapons.
is a very smart fighter. Just how smart the man.
Yeah.
Smart man.
Yeah,
But, we cannot not talk about boxing. I mean, talk about boxing and not talk about the Avenal kid, man. Jose Ramirez. I mean, the man's living life, man. I mean, a new house, new clothes. My man can dress.
Yeah.
Jose, you're in Fresno now, so you told me so yourself after the fight. Richard, I'm not in Avenal anymore. I'm in Fresno. I will walk my butt into the Fighter's Voice Knockout Radio Show. I'm waiting for that to happen.
Well, he's going to be on Sunday, right?
Yeah, but I'm not going to go invade his space.
No.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying he has an appearance on Sunday from what I
he
read.
has an appearance. Yeah. So what's your take on Jose and how he's doing his career?
You know what, Jose, what can you say? He's a champ. Just like when you talk about Mayweather and those guys, they want to say, Mayweather this, Mayweather's that. That's kind of a marketing ploy, just like Art Aragon used to do back in the day. I'm not Mexican, things to get all the people against him. I think Mayweather's smart. Jose Ramirez, what can you say? He's the champ.
Exactly.
Oh, he lost this and he did this. He's not doing this right. But get somebody to beat him.
Exactly.
Get somebody. He's winning.
Exactly.
He's a champ. He's always been a champ, and he's going to stay a champ for a while.
Who do you think his next fight's going to be against, and who would you like to see him fight?
No comment. Whoever they put up there, I'm sure they have their marketing strategy, their boxing strategy, who they want.
Okay, Mike, this is a tricky one for you, Mike. I don't want you to say who you heard. I'm asking you, who would you like for him to fight?
Regis, hands down, best fighter in the division. Regis is back in the tournament, so because of that, give me Hooker. But Hooker fights a Saturday.
That'd be a good fight. That'd be a good fight. And he showed class too.
Yeah, I would love to see them fight. If he would have fought Salcedo had he won, I would love to see that. Now it doesn't have the same intrigue. I heard somewhere about Beltran. I don't want to see that. No disrespect to Beltran, but I just don't want to see that right now. I want to see him in somebody in the top 10, anybody in the top 10 of 140. Give him to Ramirez. Let's see what happens.
There you go. And what about Isidro Troll from Fresno, California? I know he's fighting on May 4th in Stockton, California. How do you see his career going?
It's going good. I mean, and speaking of him, I just watched one of the PBC shows yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, Mikey was on, and you see some guy walking in the background with that same shirt.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Isidro. Okay, there you go.
I want to see him with the fight that he was supposed to have back in, was it December or?
With
Victor?
Victor won, and he won in the first round in Oregon.
Yeah, I
Victor
want to
Morales and Isidro Ochoa, they were supposed to fight 2 different times. And, of course, Isidro from Fresno, and he's always talking real highly of your boy, and always giving back to the community, and I was rooting for the 559.
I would love to see him have that fight. That's a great prospect fight right now, and then possibly after that, see which ones get pushed to contender status. I would love to see that fight with them, too.
Hey, man, I understand. We all want to see those fights. Pops, I got to ask you this, man. If there's anything you need to tell the public, anything you want to announce, here's your platform right now, man. Let us know.
You know what? I just want to get that name out there for my boy. You know, we kind of keep him under wraps for a while. You know, the biggest drug out there that destroys fighters is notoriety, publicity, all that fame, you know, that happens. So we're keeping it under wraps and stuff. But I want people to understand what they have here in the Central Valley. This is something that is going to blow up, and something that they got to be part of, because when it comes, push comes to shove, and you're going to see him in the big tank, say, hey, I could have went and saw him in Tulare. I could have went and saw him at the gym. He's something special. So we're going to continue to work on that, and don't miss the boat.
Don't miss the boat. Hey, I want to throw this invitation out there, and I actually got permission to do so. Robert Garcia's Boxing Academy now branched off. They have a gym now in Selma with Big Al Perez. He said, Richard, you're going to have him on the show. Man, see if you can get him just to come by and hit the bag. You know what I mean? In front of these kids, so they can see a different set of hands, a different body moving around there. Maybe we can make that happen, man. I mean, he's just being neighborly out there. Yeah. I mean, not to plug anybody. They just want to see a different piece of animal in there. I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, the way I'm using it, because that's what they use fighters, man. They're just a way of thinking. If he walks in there, because there is a lot of kids in there, and they look up to the professional fighters that are in there. And for Richard to walk in there and just, touch the bags around, get some movement, and to say, hey, I was out there, and they're opening it up to you guys. They just opened it up, Selma, Al Perez, affiliated now with Robert Garcia's Boxing Academy, man.
Oh, that's awesome.
Got to make that happen.
My boy's always willing to go out and help the community in whatever capacity he can. Helping homeless, helping, doing food lines, whatever it is. He's willing to give back to the community, and he's always helping anybody else who asks.
You know what, man? He's always been a class act. As yourself been a class act, man. You're always welcome here. This is always your platform. And you know me personally, all you got to do is give me a call. And that's the way we handle things. Hey, Rich, I'm in town, or I'll call you. And a lot of people, they really don't need to know our relationship. I can care less. The fact is, this is your platform. This is your show. For Richard, this is his house. And I'm going to bring him on right now. And I'm going to have him close the show, because I want to let all the viewers and listeners just get a little more well-known of your son, because he's always gone, man. I mean, the guy's always training. He's on an airplane, getting jet lag, going to sleep.
It's that grind.
Doing magic tricks, beat people in chess and knocking people out.
Exactly, and it's that grind. The grind is, people want to be a champ. People
but it
want
keeps
to be
them busy.
Good. Keeps them busy.
Exactly.
Everybody wants, nobody wants to pay that price. And
No.
right now he's paying that price. That grind is savage.
No, he is a savage. He doesn't have a nickname. Does he have a nickname yet?
Not yet.
Well, I know he got the nickname, the family nickname, but I want to.
You know what? Without copyright infringement things, where he's captain of American team. He's the captain of the team.
Okay? I like that, the captain.
So he's the captain.
Captain USA, baby.
So he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna rock Captain America for a little bit."
That's what's up. There you go. We should have told me, man. I would have brought my shield and stuff. You know what I mean?
Captain America.
Yeah.
So I mean, and we want to change the face of boxing, because we're not coming from poverty. We're not coming from, I got to do this to make my family better. I got to do this. It's a love of the sport. It's a love of the sport. I want him to be the guy that you want your daughter to go out with. You want your daughter to marry one day, because he's a good straight up guy who's all American. And even though he has a Mexican last name, but he's all American, and he is somebody that you can look up to and says, Good guy.
Hey, well, he gets to have the best of both worlds, man.
Yep.
That's what it boils down to.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot, born a champion. That's what's up. That's what time it is, man.
Exactly.
Only on the Fighter's Voice Knockout Radio Show where we're knocking out the competition. We're about to knock out these last commercials. We'll be coming right back with Richard Torres Jr., and it'll be the last segment. It's called the Knockout segment. I'm your host, Richard Ortiz. We'll be right back.
I'm Bob Arum, and I'm with the Fighter's Voice.
My name is Andre Ward.
Knocking out the competition. Fighters Voice! The Fighters Voice.
Hey, this is Richard Ortiz, and I'm your host to the new Knockout dating game. So if you got a daughter and she's beautiful and she's looking for the young, brash Richard Torres Jr., dial 1-800-1-800-I-AM-Captain America, the champ. I'm just having some fun here.
Leave a comment, send a message.
Yeah, I'm just having some fun here. As you heard Pop say, my son is available and he's willing. No, I better stop right there. Hey, man, it's okay. Pop's put you on the blast, put you on the spot, huh?
He did. But I mean,
and
right
you know
now,
what? In this show, we're gonna put your number on the bottom right now too. Boom, it's gonna blow up.
Now, right now, I'm married to boxing right now, at least. So
Oh, that's what's up.
There's no time for relationships outside of that. It's all my sport. That's all I think about. You know, I can't have sidetracked right now. But
No, I feel you, man. I'm in 100% agreement with you, big time, man. But you know what? It's okay to have fun on the show, man. It's okay to smile, man. It's okay to smile, man. Listen, if you had one wish on this earth and you can change some things, what would you do? What would you wish for and what would you change?
Oh, that's a big question. What would I change? I think I'd want to make athletics more available to everybody. I mean, everybody has the drive. A lot of people have the drive. A lot of people have the will, but they don't have the resources. And so you get to some spots. I mean, like I know some friends that be amazing soccer players, but they never have the money to be in a club team. You know,
Yeah,
amazing basketball players never have money to be in a club team. I mean, so they don't get to show out to everyone what they could really do. And so that'd be what I'd want to do, is make just everything more available.
There you go, man. Can I be part of your wish? So like you can put the Fighter's Voice available where we get the opportunity to broadcast nationwide, global.
Always,
you know what I mean?
Always, yeah, heck yeah.
Shoot, give us an opportunity,
Right.
man. He's chasing gold. I'm chasing gold too. We can be gold together. We can all shine together, huh, Mike?
Exactly.
Shoot, and then
Teamwork
Pops,
make the dream work.
absolutely. And then Pops will make that barbecue finally. I know that's why I said finally.
Yeah.
Hey, Pops is a cold one though, like a G. He said 1-800-dial my son. He will marry you later on. Right? I like that. Pops had it going on, man.
After the gold medal.
Yeah, see, you thought you had it all. Pop still got some. He hasn't given it all to you. He's letting you
know.
earn it.
He always says he has that one secret trick up his sleeve. That's why I
He
never
does. You
mess
know, like
with
that
him.
120 hiding in your wallet?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Just boom, just in case.
Right there.
It's right back. It's right next to something else.
It's folded behind everything else.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I don't want to know what everything else is, man. Throw it away. It expired.
Exactly.
Hey, listen, Rich. So, when do you go back to your high school? Your dad talked about giving back to the community. When's the last time you've done that? And I know because of your schedule, when do you plan on doing that again? Is it just like during the holidays, during Christmas, the Easters, or?
I mean, it's every time I come back to Tulare. I mean, this Friday I'm going out to another school to speak to the school and the whole assembly. I mean, last.
Well, let's
time
talk about that. I want everybody to know exactly what you're doing. What exactly are we doing there?
We're going to Early Mart, and we're
Okay.
going to talk to an assembly. We're going to talk to the school and an assembly. It's going to be, just talk about what I've done in the valley, how I got to where I'm at today, and my future goals. And I mean, that's pretty much what I talk to usually when I go to different schools. I've talked to classes, assemblies, and teachers in general. It's
Yeah.
just, but being able to talk to the kids and just show them that, hey, I grew up here. This is where I'm from. I'm like your neighbor. So it's doable. Anything you want it's doable.
That's always positive because the way life gives back.
Yeah.
Because somewhere down the line, a young child heard something that was positive and held on to it for
And took it,
eternity.
yeah.
For
And took
eternity.
it.
So we don't even know what you're going to say, but you're going to make an impact. It may not even be a child. It may be a teacher. It may be a principal. You say something, they may fix something or correct something and take it home with them and fix their son or daughter that way.
Exactly.
That's good stuff, man. So who's lining all this stuff up for you?
My dad.
No, that's real good.
Manager, my coach, my trainer, my dad.
No, hey, that's good stuff right there, man.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, let us know how that goes, man. See if your dad can get some footage for us.
We'll do. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, when are you going?
Friday.
Friday. Okay. Yeah, because I was thinking of putting on some footage when we release this, but I don't want to wait till Friday. I want to get this story out as soon as possible, which
Right.
is live right now. But we're gonna, do some editing. Make it
Exactly.
look smooth, my man. I'm going to see if Pops can send us back, and then on the editing, we can get that footage of him knocking out, going to the body on some dude, right?
Oh no, yeah, it was against Canada. He used to. The other guy used to be in charge of the USA boxing too.
Yeah.
The guy who fought. So my dad had ties with everyone. You know, my dad knows everybody.
Yeah, because I'm not mad at you. I just got to hurt you a little bit. You know what I mean? Huh? You know how you're fighting over that last. I'm always talking about food. That last hamburger or piece of sandia or something, or in the summertime. You know what sandia is? That's watermelon.
Mm-hmm.
That's some good stuff right there, man. I loved it as a kid. I still love it as an adult.
It's the greatest. Put some tahini on that thing.
Oh man, you don't even know what that stuff is, huh? You know what tapatio is?
Yeah, I know what Tapatio is.
Huh, that's what I'm talking about.
He sounded offended on that one.
He goes, yeah, I got some. Hey, you notice how he changed postures? He was this way and he kind of changed
that was about to be that
conventional.
left hook right there.
No, not even a jab, just the big
He's
left.
gonna just
huh?
go for the end right there.
Man, no, Richard's not gonna hurt me. We got the same name, man.
There you go.
Tocayos.
Exactly, man. Hey, what do you want to say to all the listeners, the followers, the streamers, the viewers, and even the haters, man? What do you got to say to all of them?
Be sure to follow me on my social media. Be part of the experience at Real Richard Torres on my Instagram. I'll be sure to start posting everything and have everyone follow me and just be with me on the journey.
There you go, man. We're a part of that journey. Anything you want to say to anybody, Mike?
Just keep watching the Fighter's Voice. You know, we're coming. Just real quick, special shout out to my nephew Stevie. We love you, boy. Keep your head up. We're here with you.
Yeah, Stevie, I don't know what's going on, man, but we got your back, bro. Tomorrow, Co Escovedo will be back here in studio. He's on assignment. Like I said, tomorrow we got the beautiful, the gorgeous, the spectacular, in knockout fashion from Madera, California, Zoila Frost will be in studio. And also subscribe and follow us at www.youtube.com/thefightersvoice, www.thefightersvoice.com. Remember, every fighter has a voice, and so do you. As always, I dedicate the show to my son, Richie. Richie, I love you with all my heart. It's a wrap. Thumbs up for Richie.
Never down for the count. It's just another wrap. Thanks for listening to the Fighter's Voice Radio Show. Catch us again next week.
Same when, same how.
And always stay connected to the Fighter's Voice on social media. So, on behalf of Richard Ortiz, Cole Escovedo, our special guests, and the whole crew right here at the Fighter's Voice Radio Show, saying see ya next week, right here on the Fighter's Voice.